everybody. Well, we're finally at the end, at the sixth shift, reconsidering text for the beginning reader. This is such an important chapter, but honestly, I found it probably the most difficult to really get into. I think it's so important that we understand what students are reading as they begin the reading journey and how important it is for us to choose the right things. So it's an important chapter, but I'll share a little bit about what I found difficult in it in a minute. Um, this quote I thought was just encapsulated the whole chapter. Put simply, finding texts we feel good about for the most beginning readers. Text with the right balance of interest, decodability, and opportunities for thought is challenging work. I think one of the most important parts of this little quote is the most beginning readers. That decodable stage is that very beginning stage of the reading journey. We're not going to stay on those decodables for so long that maybe our kids start to lose interest or that we're not working on some deep comprehension, because that's not really the purpose of a decodable book. A decodable book is there so students can help practice those skills and phonics lessons that we've been teaching them. So finding that text that has that perfect tension, and they talk about these three tensions between decodability and predictability, novelty and repetition, something new versus something that's repeated again and again, orthographic value, how are those words mapped, what kinds of sentence and sound patterns are we putting into the brain, versus the sense making value, which is of course an important part of the reading process as well. So they talk about this building the orthographic superhighway. And I've got this little illustration here, just thinking about how the brain is mapping, how they are building these connections that are going to help them through a text. And this is the quote I chose. Building orthographic superhighways requires readers to do more than just spend time with text. It requires that novice readers have lots of cumulative chances to prove and practice the current focus of their phonics instruction. The piece there that's so important is the practice. Seeing those words in a text that you've been teaching them, maybe in a list or in isolation. Now it's in a text and they are reading it. They're having to use that information that you've taught to decode a text, building those crucial brain connections. Here's another quote that I thought was really good about the decoding journey and the decodable book. High volume reading from text matched to children's developing print knowledge strengthens neural networks and makes word reading increasingly automatic. The more they read, the more automaticity they have. That is, of course, very important to building fluency, and that makes that decodable just a super important part of what they're getting when they're reading. So they recommend that the shift that we make is to thoughtfully select or create text with decoding opportunities students need to practice. Now, honestly, I sat down and made it my task to try to create a decodable text. Easier said than done. I'm going to share with you my little poor effort, and I'm going to tell you, I used a few tools. I used some Chat GPT. I didn't find that to be super successful, but I'm going to say that if companies have bought and paid writers to make a decodable, I'm going to say it is worth our time and money to buy those decodables, because it took me a while to do this, but I don't have access to lots of artists or clip art and that kind of thing without spending a lot of money. Your investment of time is just as important as investment of money sometimes. So I'm going to say for me, it was a good practice to create my own text, and I'll share with you what I did. But it was really a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, and certainly a little harder and a little bit harder to do that. I'm going to show you what I made and how you can maybe use it. This is my pig book, and what you can do is, I've got it as a PDF down below. You can run it front to back, cut it at the dotted line, and then you just have to staple it if you want to use this with some kids. And listen, I'm telling you, this was my attempt, not the best. All right, so my pig is big. My pig has figs. Well, that's a little comprehension piece you could talk about. Not everybody's familiar with figs. My pig can jig. There again, they may not recognize that word jig or know what it means. My pig has a wig. My pig can dig. That's a little short eye book. Use it if you can, but it taught me some things about putting these ideas together is not always as easy as you think. I hope you enjoyed the 6 shifts, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. Have a great day.